Welcome back to Houston Life. It's March 14th, also known as Pie Day. So we're celebrating with the family-owned artisan pie bakery in Katy, Proud Pie.
Yeah, from mouth-watering desserts to musical philanthropy. You might not expect that, but the man behind the bakery, owner Scott Chapman, is diving into another passion of his, music. Pie Man guitars, who knew? So you build one-of-a-kind guitars that are then signed by musicians. And Scott is joining us now, clearly with more on this effort. Welcome to the show. Thanks for the pie, by the way.
Thank you so much for having me. Very much appreciated.
Happy Pie Day. And
Happy
of
Pie
course,
Day to you.
people in Houston, many of us know you as being the Pie Man, creating these delicious desserts. But you also create these guitars that then support charities. So connect the dots for us here.
Well, you know, Proud Pie has always been about building relationships. Our success in the city of Katy has always been about the city of Katy loving us and for us to have built all these great relationships. A lot of the relationships we've built over the years have been with great charities that are in our area. We've spent an awful lot of time with these charities and putting time in. You know, just a year and a half ago, I was at this barbecue cook-off, and this they were auctioning off this guitar that had been signed by someone that was famous, and they brought in like $6,000.
Wow.
And I've always loved music. Music has always been, you know, in my family for years and years. And I've always loved guitars and studying guitars and things like that. And so I'm not a very good guitarist at all. And my wife, I have probably 20 guitars that are my personal guitars at home. And my wife...
But you don't play them?
No, I play them,
you just don't...
badly.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's different.
But you build them beautifully.
Well,
oh, my goodness.
It sounds beautiful to me, but to my wife it sounds really bad. And so she wants to kick me out of the house. So this actually is kind of saving me a little bit.
Okay.
And the fact that, well, honey, now I can build guitars for charity, and that's something, right? And so she's okay with that.
She's supportive now.
She would still like me to
Perfect.
get rid of at least 10 of my 20 guitars that I personally have at the house because I'm such a bad guitarist.
Well,
but yeah.
that's wonderful. So as someone, I mean, I work in the radio. The amount of guitars that we give away that, you know, maybe assigned, it's not always like this top quality guitar, okay? Admittedly. But you said, okay, I'm really interested in the design of the guitar, and you actually go in and you make these from scratch and then you send them out. How are they received by the famous people that you get to sign them? What do they say about your Pie Man guitars?
You know, I really, really like to have, again, building relationships, and so one-on-one. So if a band comes into town and I'm able to get a hold of them and talk to them and ask them to sign a guitar, and they're able to sign a guitar, it's great for me to actually meet them in person and have them sign that. However, for instance, the guitar that's right here, this is Lorelei, and Lorelei was signed by Paul Rogers from Bad Company. And so this was actually sent to a friend of mine in California, and she brought it to Paul. Paul then signed it, took pictures, took great video, wow, playing it and stuff. Now Paul's a singer, and he's as bad of a guitarist as I am, but he still got on the video and was playing this guitar and then sent it back. And so this guitar is got a lot of value. So there's a couple of different ways that they can go out to the artists.
It's really beautiful. And just a moment ago, we were seeing some video of you staining a guitar a beautiful blue color. Yeah. Do you find that making a pie and making guitars are somehow related? Because both take talent and skill and artistry.
It's identical because it's 50-50 technical knowledge. So for instance, a pie recipe, right? And knowing that it's a science and that you cannot put too much powdered sugar in. You cannot put too many eggs in. And then the artistry, that portion of it too. And so for me, the challenges of my life and my horrible ADHD and moving on from project to project to project and things like that, I always look for something that is 50% technical and 50% artistry that just kind of drives me. You know, it fills my battery, my love battery.
What a great philosophy. And you have that, connection to the Katy community. A lot of people make delicious food, but the community of Katy really stands behind you. They appreciate you. And you've done some work with the Girl Scouts, and we actually have a video, I think, here.
Hello, Mr. Scott! We wanted to let you know how much we appreciated you. You've been a great support for the Girl Scouts, as well as other organizations in our community. Your pies are delicious, and we can't wait to try the next pie of the week. The purple guitar is also beautiful, and we appreciate you thinking of us when you named it. We wish you great success. Thank you.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, and that was
Now-
from Girl Scout Troop 127165.
Now understand that I probably bought 1,600 cases
Of their cookies.
So they have been. So I have, given them money to actually put out that video. So it's completely worth it, right? All those cookies that I bought from them, yeah.
Totally worth it. Before we let
So
you go,
good. So sweet.
the Girl Scouts, that is just one charitable organization that these guitars have ended up supporting.
Right. There's 5 basics that are our partners, our charity partners. The Camp Hope and the PTSD Foundation of America is our number one. Our Katy Pie Run every year is that every year around National Pie Day. So this is Pie Day 3.14. National Pie Day is January 23rd, and on the Saturday before National Pie Day, we always have the Katy Pie Run. So we'll do a 5K, a 10K, and then a 3.14K, an actual pie K.
Nice.
And people will run, and there's pie the entire time that they're doing it. So that's what we do for PTSD Foundation of America.
It's fantastic, and it looks like a great crowd. Scott Chapman, thank you so much for stopping by.
Wonderful.
And they really are beautiful. Thanks for all you do for the community.
Thank you so much for having me. I very much appreciate
And
it.
thanks for the pie as well. Happy National Pie Day. If you'd
Yes.
like to learn more about Proud Pie, Pie Man Guitars, and Scott, we do have a link on our website, HoustonLife.tv.